Welcome back to Kinda Funny's Alien and Predator in Review. Of course, I'm your host, Tim Geddes. I am joined today by Andy Cortez.
Hello.
Greg Miller.
Hi, Tim.
And Nick Scarpino.
Hello, Timothy.
Of course, this is In Review, where each and every week we get together to rank, review, and recap different movie franchises. We are amidst the Alien and Predator series. We're wrapping up the original kind of section of Alien. Next week, we'll be going into Alien versus Predator, a.k.a. AVP, Andy. AVP. Very excited for that one. That's the only one that I've seen before this.
Oh, wow.
I saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I saw Prometheus as well. But yeah. Excited
Why did
to
that
talk
one
about
draw
AVP.
you in? Just monster versus monster? Like, I got to see this?
It was Alfredo. It was his
Of course it
birthday.
was.
He's like, let's go watch this movie. He grew up watching the other ones, and I was like, fine, let's see what's going on.
Did you go to a Fuddruckers after?
We did.
Nice.
We did, dude. God.
I missed that
R.I.P.
Fuddruckers.
that Fuddruckers, man.
I missed that Fuddruckers.
We were there on his final day. We saw Star Trek 2009, went out, had our final 1 pound
That's
burger.
a good-ass night
It
right
really
there,
was. Changed my life. I was like, Star Trek sucks. I'm a Star Wars boy. And then I saw that. I was like, I could like both.
Dude, no, I mean, for real, no cap. I remember watching. I was the same way. I'm like, I didn't even love Star Wars. But I was just, I'm sorry, am I not allowed to be hip with a mustache? We got two mustache boys. No cap, we got mustache.
That's sus.
No cap.
All you gotta do is just play to Nick's like good side.
I took it away. As Nick tried to dunk on me, I pulled him in.
He's gonna talk so much shit about
Just get
it.
closer
Anyways,
to me.
I
I'm on your
remember
side.
being at Judges Week with Damon and Jason Ocampo when we went and saw that. I left. I was like, Star Treks are awesome.
Star Treks are I love it.
If you love what we do, please support us with the Kinda Funny membership. You can get it on Patreon, YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcast. It gets you the shows ad-free, and you can watch you get the Greg Way every single day, including today's 15-minute Greg Way.
That's right.
That's all about you booking Langley M. Neely's travel.
I help Langley M. Neely.
You want to give a little bit of a tease for that?
No, everybody. That's why the title of it is in all caps, Help Langley M. Neely. And Langley, I know you're in the chat. I saw you right over there. It isn't live yet, so you don't know. I helped you, Langley. I helped you today.
Why did Andy just run off the set like the Predator? Like that like heavy-footed. Ho, 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 ho.
He's feeling it. He's coming back.
Oh, he needed water. This
Needs
kid
the water.
needed to hydrate that badly.
What do you have to say for yourself, Andy?
We saw the show yet?
We're an 11-person business, all about live talk shows.
11-person what?
Oh, God. Did you see what I sent random today?
Yep, I sure did.
Yeah.
Very accurate.
Roger,
very accurate.
can we watch the TikTok? Because I feel like the people need to see this. I saw a TikTok this morning that I'm like, this is the best example of Kind of Funny I have ever seen in my entire freaking life.
Yeah,
So I would like to share that with you.
I hope it's somebody desperately trying to do their job while 3 other people fuck with them incessantly.
Kind of. Here we go.
Oh, I mean, General Dollar.
Jolly General?
It was crazy. Then the next day we were driving by the Jolly General. I mean, General Dollar.
Jolly General?
You know.
You mean General Dollar? He said Jolly General. What the hell is Jolly General?
Yeah, it's okay, man. You don't have to be so hard on him. You just messed up.
He knew the risk. I said he knew the fucking risk.
What risk?
If you stutter in the friend group, if you spell a word wrong in the group chat, if you call the fucking Dollar General the goddamn Jolly General, then those who are closest to you
We gotta roast
will
you.
rip you apart
Yeah, we gotta
like
fuck with
dogs.
you. Yep.
Why though?
No one knows why.
That's crazy, man. But check this out. I saw it coming. I got your ass, bro.
This is incredible. Why is it the interstellar music? Oh.
I'm the king of the friend group now, bro.
Oh.
We're gonna draw on your face.
That was great. That was great.
So damn good. Remember, we're an 11-person business all about live talk shows, and we have some housekeeping for you. Monday, it's the annual team up between The Mix and Kinda Funny. Come see more than 60 amazing indie games when we kick off the Spring Game Showcase at 9 a.m. Pacific on Kinda Funny Games, followed by an all-day live stream of devs rotating in and out to show off their games. It's going to be an all-day affair. It's going to be a blast. Please hang out with us us and have a good time this Monday on Twitch and YouTube. We talked on Games Daily all about Xbox's next handheld and next console. And then we did a kind of funny Gamescast. It was me, Andy, and Bless doing a 2025 review of Outer Wilds. After this, we're going to be continuing Nick's Nuzlocke Challenge. And if that wasn't enough content for you, we're partnering for a 4-episode limited series celebrating the 10-year journey of Elder Scrolls Online. Greg and Mike are going to dive deep with devs about how the game came to be, how it survived, and where it's going. Don't miss this look behind the development curtain when episode 1 airs Friday, April 11th, the day after the Elder Scrolls Online Direct. If you're a Kind of Funny member, like I was saying, today's Greg Way is 15 minutes of Greg plotting Langley M. Neely's travel.
I help him, Andy. A lot of people want to go and help their fans on a one-by-one basis, but I'm not a lot of people. You might not know that about me, all right? A lot of people say they broke the mold. They broke the mold.
I saw him in the conference room with the TV on behind him
aids.
and a large image of Langley M. Neely. Visual aid.
I won't lie. This is a Greg Way you don't want to miss. All right. This is gonna sound weird. Greg Ways are usually very small and intimate, and I'm sharing things from my life, from actual life. This is me performing. And I'm performing for Langley and everyone, because when they made me Andy, they broke them all.
Thank you to our Patreon producers, James Hastings, Casey Andrew, Casey Kern, Carl Jacobs, and Omega Buster. Today we're brought to you by Built Rewards and Stash. But enough about that. We got to get into it. Alien Resurrection. Released November 26th, 1997. Nick, did you see this one in theaters?
I did.
Greg, did you see this one in theaters?
No.
Andy?
No.
Runtime of 1 hour and 49 minutes. Directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, a French film director and screenwriter. His films combine fantasy, realism, and science fiction to create idealized realities or to give relevance to mundane situations. In 2001, he achieved his biggest success with the release of what, Nick?
Oh, Amelie.
Nailed it.
Which
won him international acclaim.
It's cheating.
The music was done by John Frizzelli, an American film and television composer known best for his works on what, Andy Cortez?
I don't know, but I'm reading it right now.
King of the Hill, everybody. And all of Mike Judge stuff. We got Beavis and Butthead doing everything. Doing America, doing the universe, Office Space. Pretty cool stuff to think that he did King of the Hill, though. You know what I mean?
What a show.
Iconic.
They're bringing it back, right? Isn't there a reboot coming or something?
Yeah, there always is. You know what I mean?
Good.
Futurama back again.
Yeah. How many times are they doing that?
This one had a budget of $70 million and a box office of $161 million. The film was released in the United States and Canada on November 26th, debuting at number 2 at the box office. Behind what? That's right, Roger. Flubber.
Oh.
Wow.
I saw Flubber in theaters. I wasn't here watching Alien, but I was jacked out of my mind watching Robin Williams bounce around.
Not the Nutty Professor.
Is Flubber pre or post
9/11?
Well, no, come on. Never forget. Cool Greg getting called out by Robin Williams at the Blockbuster.
This was pre. Because that was when You Got Served came out on DVD.
Okay.
So that must have been like 2004 or so. This being 1997. Yeah, way early. But definitely kickstarting our obsession with Robin Williams.
Wow.
A big Flubber household.
It's a
You know what
landmark moment.
It was. It really was.
Never
They did
seen
the whole
it.
Chips Ahoy dance. Oh, Greg, you'd love it.
So you watched Flubber before Miss Doubtfire?
Actually, I guess I just always loved Robin Williams.
Oh, okay.
You know what I
Fair
mean?
enough, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Hard
you're
not
right.
to.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P., man. Never forget. Anyways, that's enough about all that stuff. I want to talk about Alien Resurrection. Let's start with Nick.
Alien Resurrection is one of those, again, guilty pleasure films. I love watching this movie because it is largely a really, really fun setup that devolves quickly into a train wreck. It is a wildly bonkers combination of different creators that went into this that just unfortunately don't mix. But I like the beginning of it. I like where the setup for it. I like the sci-fi behind it. I like the cloning concept of it. I like how we bring Ripley back. I think largely for me, you get halfway through and you start to realize that the style of the movie just does not work. And that's because obviously it was written by Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon is known for
Joss?
witty banter back and forth with an ensemble cast. And say what you will about the man himself, but we all, grew to love that because it really set the tone for Marvel movies. It set the tone for the Avengers. It set the tone for how you make an action movie that's slightly lighthearted with comedy that adds to the tension and then breaks the tension, that does all that stuff, right?
I thought you were dead. I get that a lot.
Right.
That's a good line.
It is a good line. But when you combine that writing with the straight down the line direction of a French director who was known before this, I don't know if you've ever seen The City of Lost Children.
No.
But it is wild. And it was starring Ron Perlman, which is how I imagine how Ron Perlman got to be a part of this film, was he was the main, he was the protagonist in that. But that is a movie about a city where a scientist steals the dreams of children to elongate his life. Wow. It is, and then if you've ever seen Amelie, which is a really great film, and I highly recommend it. That is a movie about a girl who is sending her dad's garden gnome all over the world to prove to him that he still has life left in him. It's really phenomenal, but those styles don't mix. And so when you get that witty banter back and forth, and you have a straight down the line sort of like direction, it makes the character sound psychotic. And that's where we find Ripley in this, where she's not necessarily a likable character. She's not necessarily a sympathetic character. She's just this kind of weird thing that's in the movie. And then the only other character you can root for is Call. But then by the end of it, you're like, well, she's an android, so who gives a shit about that? And she's kind of weird too. And so there's when you get to the middle of the movie, I think for me is where it starts to sort of lose steam, because you just have no characters really to root for. And then when you would normally rely on fun banter back and forth and like the dynamics of the team, those just start to fall apart a lot. And then also, I think the movie just didn't have the budget that it really needed to get through it, because this movie, if you watch a frame of it, is either a lower budget mid-90s sci-fi movie or a Backstreet Boys music video. Like, it has that look to it, and you're like, I don't think this really works well. Having said all of that, it will always have a special place in my heart, because I remember watching this in theaters being like, wow, that was just a wacky direction, and at least it wasn't Alien 3.
Yeah. I want to jump off next, because I'm kind of right there with you. At least it wasn't Alien 3. And I didn't realize it was Joss Whedon. I didn't see that in the credits. It wasn't until afterwards in the second credits that I saw it. I was like, oh my God, that explains so much, because I was really kind of into the character dialogue. And I was like, I'm enjoying this so much more than I have in the previous movies. But the entire time I couldn't shake the feeling that I'm like, wow, even with like fun dialogue and stuff, if it's in a bad movie and a bad plot, like, it doesn't help that much. And I think that this is a pretty good example of that, of like, hey, there's a competent back and forth between pretty much every character that we get on screen. And I'm always interested in what's being said, but I'm not interested in what's being done.
Right.
And I think that definitely got in the way of my enjoyment of this movie. But to me, it was a guilty pleasure in a different way than Nick kind of growing up with it. For me, I was really fascinated by this movie more than any movie I've ever seen, feeling like when you watch a movie and then, oh, this movie's never going to get a sequel, but we're going to get a comic book sequel. Like, we're going to tell the story in a 6-issue comic book of what happened after this.
Yeah.
Those comic books never get adapted to be movies. This feels like that's what happened. Hey, let's just take the comic book sequel and directly adapt it to a movie. Literally, like, dialogue and all, and edits and transitions and everything. And looking through it from that perspective, I'm like, I kind of enjoyed it. Like, I didn't hate my time with this movie. I don't ever want to watch this one again, period. But I didn't hate it, and I do think it's cool that it's rare that we see that type of those storylines being adapted, because if I just read this as a comic, I would be like, hey, that was a good time. I don't know that I'd recommend it to anybody, but it's like, I had fun with it.
We do get a spiritual successor as a sequel to this film, though. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Because Joss Whedon basically used this film to like workshop Firefly.
And that makes sense,
and then it comes out of that, and you look, the ship designs are the same, the costumes are kind of the same, the dynamics are the same of the people that are on there. They're kind of space pirates in the same way. So we did get something good came of this, which was a few seasons of Firefly and then the movie, which is Serenity, which is good.
Super cool, and that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, definitely not close to good, but not my least favorite of these so far. And I'm interested to see where it'll fall when all is said and done. Andy Cortez, what about you?
This is really just like Jurassic Park franchise before the Jurassic Park franchise existed, where there was so much substance at the beginning of it, and there was so much good to glean onto, and then they just started getting real bad. And now, even if there are moments that I'm like, oh, that's kind of like that's a fun moment that's not necessarily good, I still think back to like, yeah, but look at what we had. And I hated this movie. I just feel like it's just such a far leap from what the franchise was. And I think of Ellen Ripley saying, "Who do I gotta fuck to get off this ship?" And then Ron Perlman, it must be a chick thing. Like, what? It just sucks. It fucking sucks. This movie sucks so bad in a lot of different, and not just like character writing, but things that characters do that just, it's hard to not roll your eyes. And yeah, I hated this movie. This is pretty bad.
Greggy.
Hi, Tim.
Hello.
As a child in 1997, 14 years old, I had been burned so bad by Alien 3 that I went out of my way not to watch Alien Resurrection. And so for me, this movie's always existed as you're flipping through the channels and TBS or USA's running it. And somehow I always arrived right around the ending.
Me too.
So I'm so well versed in the
alien titties.
Cut your hand, throw the blood, suck them out the. But I've always left before they got to Earth. So like you caught me watching it because I fell asleep at that point last night, and I had to go watch it again because Jen was explaining it to me, and I was like, okay. But there's that, and then the TikTok clip of the behind the scenes of the fact that on the first try, Sigourney Weaver knocked the basket in over her shoulder, no look, and Ron Perlman's amazement in it. That's like how this movie has existed the entire way to me. So to get in and watch this, expectations were set very, very low, but I agree, to me, it's a guilty pleasure. Where it was, especially for what we're doing and in review of like week after week, let's watch. So you're so in on everything, and we've seen it go Aliens, Alien 3, and here we are. And it's like, I enjoyed this more than Alien 3 for sure. I thought this was a more enjoyable film. It's not good, but they're doing goofy ass shit. They're making really weird performance choices. It's like, all right, whatever. I was entertained the whole time, even though I fell asleep because I was very tired.
Yeah, you bringing up the alien getting sucked out. That is the one thing about this movie that I thought was just like unironically awesome. like the idea of it and just visually how they did it. Like, I felt for Homie. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, you're getting sucked into space through a little tiny hole, man. That can't be fun. That's going to hurt. We're going to get into the plot right after a quick word from our sponsors. This episode's brought to you by Built. Y'all already know I'm a big points and rewards guy, but here's a PSA for anyone who rents. If you haven't heard of Built, you're about to thank me. Earning points on rent is now a reality where you pay your rent through Built. You don't even have to check with your landlord to start earning points that you can use towards flights, hotel stays, fitness classes, and even your next rent payment. Let me break it down for you. There's no cost to join Built, and as a member, you'll earn valuable points on rent and on your everyday spending. Built points can be transferred to your favorite hotels and airlines, and even the ones you haven't heard of. There are over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels and properties around the world you can redeem your Built points toward. Points can also be redeemed towards a future rent payment and unique experiences that only Built members can access. So, if you're not earning points on rent, my question is, why not? Start earning points on rent you're already paying by going to joinbuilt.com/kindafunny. That's JOINBILT.com/kindafunny. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you. Joinbuilt.com/kindafunny to start earning points on your rent payments today. This podcast is brought to you in part by Stash. Saving and investing can feel impossible, but with Stash, it's not just a reality, it's easy. Stash isn't just an investing app. It's a registered investment advisor that combines automated investing with dependable financial strategies to help you reach your goals faster. They'll provide you with personalized advice on what to invest in based on your goals, or if you just want to sit back and watch your money go to work, you can opt into their award-winning expert-managed portfolio that picks stocks for you. Stash has helped millions of Americans reach their financial goals and starts at just $3 per month. Don't let your savings sit around. Make it work harder for you. Go to get.stash.com/kindafunny to see how you can receive $25 towards your first stock purchase and to view important disclosures. That's get.stash.com/kindafunny. Paid non-client endorsement, not representative of all clients and not a guarantee. Investment advisory services offered by Stash Investments, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investing involves risk. Offer is subject to T&Cs. And we're back, everybody, with the plot.
I don't have a plot song. I was in an airport yesterday.
He doesn't have a plot song. He was in an airport yesterday.
I don't know.
Bring back the beat. We'll get there. We'll bring it back to Alien Resurrection. Welcome everybody to Alien Resurrection and a gooey and wet title treatment.
Yeah.
It's just everywhere. It
was good.
You got alien parts, you got people parts, you got eyeballs, you got skin, you got teeth, you got all sorts of shit. It's just wet.
Yeah.
Everything's impossibly wet here.
I like gooey. I like that word that you use.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then they have like just a horrible title treatment. As it pops up, I'm like, ooh, fuck, this is what it was? God
I will
damn.
say though, the 20th Century Fox. I need a cough now. The 20th Century Fox. That's the one from my childhood. I saw the way that all looked and sounded. I'm like, this is bringing me back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like before, it was just like the still image. This one, you get that like movement. I love it.
This is so fucking 90s. So 90s. This was
There it
every
is.
title treatment for everything in the Andy, you know that like this is when they figured out they could do like a blur on lines and it would make like a gradient and everyone was like, this is gonna be the thing. God,
It's
look
that
at
thing
it.
too where it's like if you didn't live it, you don't know. There's no way you could possibly understand the way Nick and I know that this was everything. This was fucking everything.
Every fucking thing. It was all green font. And you know what? You know what really helped was when the Matrix came out and did it right, and everyone's like, "We're not going to do that because everyone's going to accuse us of just copying the Matrix now." Thank God. For
When in
more
reality,
justice.
clearly, the Matrix copied Alien Resurrection.
Yeah.
I'll say this: great CG though. And that's another thing that kind of reminds me of like as I'm watching this, I'm like, replace the alien with the Velociraptor. This is Jurassic Park, a bad Jurassic Park movie. You know, I kept on getting those vibes, but the quality of the CG reminded me a lot of like the OG
Cloning plots.
like the
What's that?
Cloning plots. in the
I mean,
Jurassic-
I was
that
gonna say
too,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
legitimately. I never even enjoyed the parallel. I know you were being sort of ironic, but this is legitimately just Jurassic Park in space, right?
No,
They're just
yeah, no,
cloning
for
everything.
sure,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
It's a Dino Crisis.
yeah, wow.
Good job.
Thank you.
From there, of course, we get out of the bad title treatment, and it's the Urugia spaceship. It's a military vessel. How you doing? I think we should wait because there's another one to be introduced.
In about 5 seconds.
Let's get them both. We'll put them on the same line and be there. 5 seconds, sir? So much happens.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
Of course, we come just dollying in, and what is it? It's a little nudie girl, right, in a tube or whatever. And like, damn, that kind of looks like Ripley. And what happens? It becomes a little nudie woman. It's Ripley.
It's
Because
Ripley.
if you didn't know, they
everybody.
cloned Ripley. Everybody, they cloned Ripley. Eventually, she asked for explanation, but I'll put it here. Of course, that they found a drop of blood 200 years ago. Of course, at the end of Alien 3, and they were like, you know what? We really still want this alien. Nobody's seen these aliens since then. We want them because again, I'm bringing shit in, but you know where we're going with this. Of course, they're going to say vaccines. They're going to say molds for podcast hosts, but let me tell you, they broke it. They can't find them like this.
Oh, okay.
But they want them for weapons, of course, because that's what everybody wants these fucking things for. So they find the drop of the blood. They knew that they must. Weyland-Yutani saved it forever ago. It gets passed down for 200 years to all these different people.
So weird.
It ends up in
Such
these
a stretch.
mad scientists' hands that are like, we're gonna do this. And so, sure as shit, they clone the one, the only Ellen Ripley.
Well, not the one, which we'll find out.
8. Number 8.
Which
big
I
deal.
think is really interesting, though.
very cool.
Right? I think it's like when I first watched this, I don't know that it really kind of dawned on me that I was like, oh, they've been at this for a long time. And
Yeah.
this was finally just the one that they figured out that they got right.
The right proportions.
Which is good. But I also never really clocked that this wasn't Weyland-Yutani. This is a whole other different entity because Weyland-Yutani has been like conglomerated out. And
Yeah,
something
yeah.
else that's happening. I
This is
forget
the
what
military.
corporation.
They're good guys, remember?
Yeah.
They say that. They make a big point of telling us that. I don't believe them. However, this works. They get a full blown Ellen Ripley. Hooray!
I
So-
hate Ellen Ripley's character in this is my least favorite character of the
It's
movie.
everyone's least favorite.
Yeah,
character.
Well, it's
just
not
like-
her, right? Which I think is the one out. Which
Yeah, but
I
like-
don't know if we're supposed to like this, you know.
I think we
fucked up
are.
carbon
I
copy.
think that like this is written to be like the
supposed to
comic
be
book
cool.
sequel. Look how cool! Hey, she's as badass as you remember. It's kind of like
She's
the
more
anti
badass.
Luke in Last Jedi thing. It's the overcompensating the other way of like, yeah. She is the coolest. She says cool things. She dunks basketball. She's fucking cool, y'all. Like,
Yeah.
and she's not. I think it just goes way too far.
They
It kind
needed-
of reminds me a bit of Species too. Remember Species?
yeah.
man.
Well, oddly enough, there was a piece of trivia that talked about that where they were like they wanted to make the newborn at the end look like Ripley, but they were worried that they were going to get flack from like that was going to be too much like Species. Apparently, I don't know if that clocks because now that I'm thinking about it, like maybe Species came out later, but
Michael Madsen, no big deal.
yeah, your best friend.
And my best friend from Up at Noon. What do we got here? Species came out in 95, so that was beforehand. Yeah.
So
God, what a movie that was. Remember
that
Andy,
movie
you ever
had
watch
nudity,
Species?
right?
Oh, she just wanted to fuck.
Yeah, that's one.
She was wearing like a sundress. She would just tear it off and fuck, and then she wanted. Well, I think she was. If she got inseminated, she was gonna turn into a fucking monster. I forget what it was.
That's one where it's like,
I got what?
I hope this is on
Inseminated?
HBO tonight. You know,
Shit.
I just remember being in awe of Natasha Henstridge. I think that was her name.
That
I was
sounds
like,
about
wow,
right.
she
Henstridge,
might
yeah.
be one of the best looking human beings on the
Very,
planet.
very pretty. Back to this one though. They put her on the table. They come in with their little laser. They cut open her chest cavity. They go in there. Oh, be careful, be careful. Oh, what are we getting now? It looks like some kind of hand roll. Nope, it's an alien. It goes, ee! And they go, got it. And they put in this little thing. They put little things on. They close it up, and they're like, we got it. Hooray. And then they're like, we got what we wanted. And then the one mad scientist guy's like, can we save her? Or can we keep her? And the guy's like, well, what are her vitals at? And they're like, her vitals are good. And like, yeah, okay, you can have her. So they sew her back up and do that, right? And then that's where we get it. Number eight on her arm or whatever.
Cool.
But then they take her and they put her in a cocoon. They put her in an empty room in a silk cocoon that we get a lot of. And I'm like, is this future healing tech? Like,
They have
what
to
is
sell
this?
action figures, you know what I mean?
I guess so. Was there any?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be amazing if they sold a box set of her in the, cocoon, and you had to get out of it.
I wonder.
It's a one use only. You can't put the cocoon back
She's
together.
number 8. She's not our Ripley, but she is our Ripley. She's healing very quickly. They bring her
Cool
in.
rhyme.
They bring her into the medical bay. They talk about how that was a week ago or 3 days ago, whatever it was, the thing. And they're like, yeah. And she's handcuffed and she's kind of like, placid isn't what I want. Whatever.
Docile?
She's docile. Thank you. And then a guy walks over, and what happens? She fucking breaks the handcuffs and wraps her legs around it, and then grabs his neck and starts choking him. And he's it's like Greg Miller acting level. And then they get her off. They tase her, and like, don't tase her. Blah, blah. Like, oh my god, like she's very important. And it turns out that we go report to the dad from Clueless, the general,
Dan Hedaya.
and it turns out that guess what? She's got memories, but there's gaps, but there's this, but there's that, and she's part alien, but she's part human, so she could talk to us about what the aliens know too, or whatever. And he's like, "Fuck that! All this woman ever did 200 years ago was try to kill aliens. Now we're breeding aliens. We ain't got time for this. I'm gonna fucking kill her."
I just stopping right here.
Please.
Aside from the implementation of this, which is kind of zany and weird and it's over the top, the actual writing and the ramifications of this, I think are really fucking cool. I think it's so cool, and what a great, interesting way to reintroduce the Ripley character, to have her have some memories, but to be like lost in it and not know who she is or what she is. I think that's so cool. They could have done so much more with this if they had made her a little bit more three-dimensional, because she is, at this point, the main character, kind of, but she never really feels like the main character of this. And I think it's because we never get moments with her where she feels real. It's always just like they just wanted her to be that thing that was unstoppable and powerful. And they didn't have another 20 minutes of budget to flesh it and get her to that point.
You only have that moment with her and Call near the end.
Toward the
where
end,
they
but
have
it
the
feels out of
heart-to-heart.
left field because you're like, up until this point, you've just been like kind of psychopathic. Like you don't feel real emotions. And then we get that moment with her and Call. We're like, oh, is she supposed to be motherly now? And then we get the moment with the newborn. Like, is she motherly? It's all kind of conflicting.
Clueless dad, the general, introduces the why not? They use breath ID in the future, where you breathe in.
Oh, fuck me.
You breathe into door locks rather than a retinal scan or a thumbprint or blood or a chip. It's you breathe.
Goofy as hell, man.
So stupid.
It's very
it's-
dumb.
And again, you talk about him from being the dad from Clueless. My touchstone for him is from Addams Family, which is an even goofier movie. And so the fact that they got him in this, I'm like, again, he's a great actor.
I
He's
know
phenomenal.
him from that documentary about actors with hairy shoulders. That doesn't exist. But
I
goddamn,
really want to make that
shoulders
documentary.
of all time.
And like they
Holy
were
shit.
like they were definitely like, let's call attention to
Yeah,
it. Let's
yeah.
put him in the wife beater, a size too small, so he really puffs up.
Puffs him out.
Really
They,
puffs
I
up.
was like, damn, Stan Winston going off here with the animatronics and the makeup and everything. Like,
There's a piece of trivia that says that originally he was shirtless and he was so hairy that audiences started laughing. So they put him in the tank top instead.
Didn't solve the
Man,
problem.
it makes it worse.
God,
It
didn't
makes
solve
it
the
so worse.
problem.
covered in carpet.
He's a great actor. He is a character actor. He's been in a ton of things. But he brings a level of goofiness to
Total
this
goofball.
that really, really does not work with, I think, the tone they were trying to go for.
100% with that. Yeah. He comes in to talk to Ripley, and Ripley's putting it together. Of course. Oh, you're growing a queen. Yep, she'll breed. You'll die. What are you talking about? Like, we're all good guys. We're military. We're not whaling you, Donnie. We're gonna do it for good stuff. Don't worry about that. And she's like, yeah, we'll see about that. I know how this one goes, but that's pretty much as far as she goes. Then the Betty shows up. Andy, hit the song.
If you've noticed me on my phone, I'm just looking for any fucking song with the word game or ship or name, and I just can't find anything. So it's time to rank the ship name. It's time to rank the ship name.
Whoa, what's the name?
It's time to rank the ship name.
Is it good? Is it
time to rank
Sing it, Tim.
ship name. Sing it, Tim.
Rank the ship.
Tim.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast, where we rank the name of the ship. Currently, the ranking looks like this. Number 1, the Nostromo from Alien. Number 2, the Sulaco from Alien 2, or Aliens. And then we named the planet Fiorina Fury 161 from Alien 3. Where do we want to put the combination, everybody? Of course, the Betty and the Arugia.
I know Ragu Bagu rules are we have to join them. Can we individually rank these?
I think we can.
You know what? Because you just got back from a trip, yes.
Okay.
Normally on a normal day I wouldn't, but I understand you were in a plane yesterday.
Because I do think they're in different places.
All right. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. Okay.
Because Betty, get the hell, nah.
What?
Betty's fucking rad.
Betty's
Betty?
cool. And then at the end when they showed the little old school, bombshell thing from a World War II plane, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I'm not a Betty guy.
See, I would go for me
I'm talking Nostromo, man.
I would put number 3 as Betty, number 4 leave it Fiorina, and number 5 then the Arugia, because it sounds like arugula, and I don't like arugula.
Yeah, that's my thing.
I don't like
problem is,
arugula.
I'm sure there's an etymology for that name. I don't know what it's from. I didn't bother looking it up. The ship design is cool. The name is just too hard to say.
I like it.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It
Arugula.
feels sci-fi and cool, and I like the ship as well.
It's a constellation
put
in
it
the
high.
northern celestial
Number
hemisphere.
3.
What's it called?
Aruga.
Arugia.
Ariga. It's the Ariga.
Ariga.
You know what, guys? I'm saying the words. Just fucking roll with it.
It's a lot cooler as
Ariga.
Ariga than Ariga.
Ariga's what I thought it was.
Ariga
Ariga's
actually.
high.
You know what?
No,
'Cause this is
don't
one
do
I
this.
didn't. This is one I didn't catch.
Oh, shit.
And when you said Arugia, I'm like, damn, that does suck. But Ariga is a lot cooler.
Remember what I just gave you, though? I gave you the ability to break them up because you're on a plane, all right? Don't make me put you back on a plane and put them together.
Put him
You know
back
what
on
I
a plane,
mean?
Greg. Put him back in economy class.
I would put Betty below Fiorina, and I would put Ariga below Betty. I would still have last place. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Chaos.
Oh, man, dude. Ariga's number 3. Betty's last.
I just think the Betty looks cool. It's so anime.
Look, I'll be real with you. The song I was gonna do for the ship name was gonna be that song by Kanye West, "Blame Game," but it's I just can't do it. He's just a horrible.
I thought you were going to go with that.
John Legend
Black Betty. Brown and
Whoa, Black Betty, Black Betty,
But that the ship name theme song wouldn't just be about Betty.
For this one.
Apparently, it's so fucking great. Everyone loves Betty.
Sitting arugula in there somewhere.
Okay, well,
Let's rank
it seems like the way it's shook out is this. Number 3 will be the Arugia. Number 4 will be Betty. Fury will go to the bus.
I appreciate this.
Much to Tim's chagrin.
You were talking about the CG being good in this movie. The space scenes, I enjoyed quite a bit. I was there's some good 90s space stuff going on.
I was just impressed by the way that the alien looked for the time for it be 96.
When it's crawling into the ship.
Yeah.
When it crawls into the pod, it's pretty good.
Swimming.
Whenever we talk about the visual leaps, every couple months or so, videos will go viral on social media of look at how Metal Gear Solid 1 looked on PS1 and how Metal Gear Solid 2 looked on PS2. What a massive leap. Thinking of how the alien looked, how horrible it looked in the last movie compared to in this Resurrection, I was like, oh shit, they did a really good job here. It just kind of reminded me of the way Jurassic Park CG looked.
We go inside the Betty and we meet everybody. All these very memorable characters.
Ron Perlman, man.
Ron Perlman, of course. Amazing.
Hell yeah.
Oh, come on now. The Pearl, as we call him, right?
We do.
Drops his knife onto a man who has no feeling in his legs, which when I'm watching it this time around, especially, the only time I've seen the scene probably, he drops the knife. I'm like, oh, cool. He's an android. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, oh,
Subvert
no.
the expectations.
You're just, why aren't you bleeding? like more. Like you could hit an artery and really kill him, even if he can't feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like this bad movie Novocaine. Everybody's all about. You know what I mean? Like,
knew
he'd
you
still
were gonna
die. Anyways, great movie. Good job, Jack White. Of course, who's there to yell at him is Winona Ryder, who I did remember from Osmosis was an android in this movie, so I had ruined that for General Leon.
Jones.
I lied to my wife about this. She's like, "Are there any androids in this?" I was like, "No." And then we got to the end. She's like, "You son of a bitch."
Then there is the captain. His name looks like Elgin, and we will say Elgin the rest of the show because that is a suburb of Chicago that I know well.
Great.
He, of course, has just a fucking rock hard on for this woman who's in the chair next to him. And you're like, man, that's kind of sexually harassing. And then we jump on later on, like, oh no, they're in a thing together. You know what I mean? God bless them. God fucking bless them.
And I love all these actors, by the way, because they're all actors from other shitty 90s movies. That like, I don't want to say shitty, but other like cult classic 90s movies, right? Like Michael Wincott, Michael Wincott, I believe was in The Crow. He was like the bad guy from The Crow. And you're like, oh, okay, The Crow. And then someone's like, it's a good movie. Like, I don't think so.
Like
I think it was okay.
Definitely got cast because he's got good cheekbones and jawline. You know what I mean?
He's got the voice to the raspy
got
voice.
that raspy. But it was not consistent at all. There'd be moments where he's like, we got to get off this ship. And the next thing he'd be like, where do we go from it? It's like, no consistency there. It was awesome.
Yeah.
So we meet all of them, and they've come with cargo for the captain here from Clueless. We roll up. The Betty docks. They get off. There's this whole thing where they get like the security scan, and guess what? Ron Perlman is bringing a weapon. Well, like one guy's got I forgot about the guy with the dreads. He's got guns up his sleeve.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah, very. Oh my God, gorgeous.
Great eyes.
But so they scan him, and then he gets by because of it. And then they scan Ron Perlman. He's got a thermos like I bring to work because I'm cool. And then they scan the guy in the wheelchair. He's like, "Do you want to check the chair?" And immediately, like, all these guys are bad. Like, not bad, but they're all doing stuff here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to be a space marine to know shit's up here. You know what I mean?
That's where another guy. So that character's name is Christy, and I was like, God, I know that guy from something, but I can't pull it.
Twilight.
And I know him from seeing episodes of CSI on at my parents' house because he was in CSI for like 8 seasons.
that.
Yeah,
Good for him.
As they all start going in, they start to unload this cargo. That's a big mystery. The captain calls into his quarters Elgin. They go in there and they have the cool future space tech of like I'm gonna have a bourbon and it's a block of something and they put something and it turns into bourbon. Like that's cool. I like that.
Why?
Kind of shit. Yeah, because
We're in space in the future.
but you
man.
can't like alcohol keeps forever. It doesn't need to be stored.
They didn't want you second guessing it. All right.
Yeah, but they have this awesome space tech where they have dehydrated whiskey, which is like, oh, how do they do that? But then they have to give them $1 million space bucks. This
in cash,
cartoonishly big. It's clearly fake money that
most people don't use cash anymore. They do if they're doing something in uncharted space outside of the control. What's going on here? I'm not going to tell you what's going on here. Don't worry about what's going on here. Just take your space bucks and
Take
get
the
out
money.
Of here. Look at this cool shit.
You guys are doing illegal shit here, right? And I'm calling you out on this.
Look at that, and they go bloop. This is up there with rehydrating a pizza from Back to the Future, too.
That's pretty cool.
I
mean,
would
that
be
definitely-
drinking bourbon every night if it came into this kind of thing.
That's got to be way more costly than just a liquid.
1,000%.
Yeah, I know you, Greg, and I love you, but you prioritize gaming over anything else. So if you had a little less time, you would just start licking that cube.
Yeah, of course.
You would not
I'd chew it up.
rehydrate You'd be like,
Bloop. Can you imagine that? Put your mouth.
and you're instantly
I just
hammered and
pictured
shitting yourself.
the guy
I
who
love things
made
wet
whatever
explode
that
in my
laser
mouth.
is. That fucking shit. Keep going.
Breaking the mold, everyone.
Joey making a shirt. You know?
Golf. Remember that one?
Golf.
Still trying to get that shirt up on the
Yeah.
store.
What is up with Joey standing in the way of greatness?
I
They
mean,
broke the
some
mold
people
with
call her
me.
a gatekeeper, and some call her just a quality control person.
Worth pointing out here, father this time around for the AI of the ship, not mother. That was fun, right?
Yeah. Didn't notice that.
Unnecessary,
Why
though.
not? Well, it's 200 years. Things have changed.
Yeah.
They divorced.
You know what I mean?
That makes
Yeah.
no sense. But it's fine.
Well, this is where it's revealed, of course, the cargo is people. The cargo they're bringing are people in stasis chambers. What the fuck? I'm just going to insert it here, of course, that they bringing them in there. And then what do? They fucking the alien that they got from Ripley is the queen. And it's laying eggs, of course. So they take the eggs and they put them in the pods. And then, of course, these poor fuckers, they got to wake up right as the egg is hatching.
God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least let me wake up after the fact. Like, I don't even know what's going on. Cool. I mean, whatever. You know, no, they're waking up as the fucking things. Blah, blah, blah.
I forget.
know,
I don't
it's
know if
bad.
it's this guy or not, but the guy that we see at the end who has one in him, he's like, what's inside me? What's
Yeah,
inside
yeah.
me? I'll never forget because he's in the most terrifying and worst part of 7. He's the one that's like, remember in the massage parlor where he like, I never understood what the thing was that was happening in there, and I never wanted to go back and scrutinize that scene because it was so fucking.
He's
shocking.
that guy. He's another character actor where it's like, I know you from
he's
something,
been in
and
a
I
ton
cannot
of
place
stuff.
what you are. 7 is
Ton
what
of
I was
stuff.
thinking of. That's a good call. That's a good call.
But as one of the like lead scientists is looking on, he asks a question, and the other scientist goes, "A just question, my liege."
Now,
Who's that?
of course, it's Wormtongue.
Grima Wormtongue, baby.
But
Lord of the Rings.
But
Come on.
again, at this point, he wasn't Wormtongue. Do you know what I knew this guy from? Can you pull the movie that I'm thinking of right now?
The voice of Chucky.
It is the voice of Chucky, but he was
Holy
in
shit.
Chucky. He was actually the bad guy at the beginning of him, and he does the voodoo ritual with the doll as he's dying and puts his soul into Chucky. It's
Sick.
Brad Dourif. And I love this guy. This guy's always the creepy, fucking weird, want to lick you character in
Yeah.
every single thing he did. And he made a fucking ton of money doing that.
Big looking.
I'd like to do something somewhat radical here.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I know that this is a pretty laced up on rails podcast,
Mm-hmm.
but as Andy knows, when they made me, they broke the mold, didn't they, Andy?
Mm-hmm.
I'm cheating. I'm cheating for the camera where I'm behind your ear, but it looks like I'm by your ear. Hit the face hug and face fuck him.
Oh shit! You got hold on.
Well, I said I was breaking the mold. I was doing the thing. I was doing something unorthodox here. You know?
When he says breaking the mold in this context, he means
we've
doing it
done
out
that
of
a lot.
order.
face fuck him.
You sing it because I never get right.
Face fuck. Oh, I don't know. Face hug him. Face fuck him. Face fuck him. Face hug him. And this is another podcast within a podcast where we rank the face huggers and decide, did we like them? Face hug them. We want to hug these face huggers. Or did we face fuck them? Get the fuck out of here. We don't like you. I know that the face huggers will return in this movie. This isn't their only scene.
Right.
But I think this scene is so well done, I want to rank this scene.
Yeah,
Where I appreciate
Yeah.
the egg, the terror.
you.
We don't need to see. Eventually, I mean, we could actually maybe use the future against them in this one if we wanted to, because when it's on Ripley's face and she's rolling
not
on, like,
great.
what do I fucking care about this? But I thought this was really well done, of the tension and then the milk sack like sucking in on itself where it's getting. I thought that was really cool.
I'm right there with you. I
we-
give
can-
this the positive.
Can we
Thumbs up.
rank them both
Face
in
hug
dollars
'em.
on a plane?
Sure. Alien Resurrection, and I'm going to put
First
parentheses in the pods. All right. So we say
Pods out
face
the pods.
hug him for that one. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
in the pools we'll get later.
okay, good. Oh,
Play
you
the
got
song.
you got another chance to get a song. All right, I like that a lot. Okay, everybody, we're having some fun today. Everybody, sorry, everybody who wanted us not to have fun. All right,
Bad news. We're having fun.
It's happening today. Everybody over at the IRS is like, ugh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting close to tax day. They want us to be having a bad time.
Yeah.
Not on my watch.
Why is he rubbing his nose?
Because he knows. Because the nose knows. Want to
Exactly.
throw out that they gave some more life to the eggs here. They undulate now. They kind of throb a little bit. And I think that was the director. I read a piece of trivia saying the director had a critique of the original movies where he's like, they're just so boring. And these are more organic and pulsy and fun and like scarier that way. Man, that's so much white. Dude.
This
it's not the
poor
same
bastard
actor.
having to wake up though for it, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also
Jesus.
any torture device that locks your head in place. We saw it a lot with Saw. Man, it's terrifying.
Word in the street is Saw 11's never happened to Nick. Breaking news today.
Wait, what?
No.
Everyone's really upset.
Are you
Everyone's
fucking
really upset.
serious?
I'm real serious.
Tim,
It'll
Dimension
happen
Films has nothing else. It's
Yeah.
that and this and Scream.
Just gotta hope,
So
man.
just canceled? Just in general?
It's word on the street. I hope they're wrong though. The
Shit.
streets
Better
lied
be wrong.
before.
All of the executives wake up in a room. I'd like to play a game. All your life, you've canceled movies.
So we're on the ship. The cargo's been dropped. But guess what? What's the final? Captain's like, what do you need from me, Elgin, other than this fucking very clear fake money that you get at the grocery store kids toy section? You ever do this as a
Yeah.
kid?
Funny money coming soon.
Exactly. I saw that. I like that. He's like, well, we could use a couple nights to stay here and maybe take some ship parts and whatever. And he's like, yeah, sure, no big deal, whatever. We have a weird relationship. Let's do that. And so while they're doing that conversation, the other crew members, Ron Perlman, Winona Ryder, the guy who can't feel his legs, the guy with the dreads, they go to the gymnasium.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They go to the gymnasium where they find Sigourney Weaver, who clearly 5 to 10. Let me put it this way: Sigourney Weaver would have been great on the Kind of Funny basketball team. All right, there's no form to anything this poor woman's doing. You know what I mean?
She had the Reeboks in the first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Where'd they
It
come
helps
from?
that she's 6'8", though. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So she's shooting, she's doing her thing over there, and then they all come in, and then Ron Perlman immediately, like, I always had a thing for the tall ones or whatever, and he starts going over there trying to make her uncomfortable, but you ain't gonna make clone alien
She's
Ripley
gonna make you more
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
So she's just moving basketball a little bit faster than he can grab, you know what I mean? But not like fast.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, he's not getting it, but it's also not like she's doing it inhumanly fast. It's just like, you got bad reflexes, Ron Perlman.
Yeah, this is on you.
It really
Ron.
isn't. Like, I don't.
Yeah, he's not as fast as he used to be.
I think I'm just really thankful that this basketball scene was like, it was all that we got of it. Like, because they could have given us a lot more of the basketball. They could have had a Catwoman 1v1 sort of I'm glad that they were like, that's it. That's the limit. You know what we're getting.
And eventually she puts it behind his head and is doing just a little back and forth. Again, these aren't impressive basketball feats,
No,
but they're feats nonetheless.
If it's something that I feel like I could realistically teach Greg in 15 seconds, it's not good on screen.
No. And then Ron Perlman does or says something I forget, and that sets her off. She headbutts him and knocks him down, and then the guy tries to shoot at her or grab it. No, do something. Oh, he throws the barbell, but she hits him in the fucking face with. It's like all of a sudden this action's really intense and really violent, but then they're not reacting as if it's as violent as it is, but there's a little scuffle, a kerfluffle, and then military man walks in, the big military man. We're not going to name him because I don't want to, but you know who I'm talking about. He walks in, and he's got the shitty scientist with him or whatever, and they're all like, oh, fucking, she's amazing. She's Vigo, you know what I mean?
She's Vigo.
Yeah.
You don't get hit by a
Gunk like that, right?
massive weight like that. You just chill about it.
But more importantly, she gets hit with it, nosebleed, blood falls, acid blood.
Oh, man.
But not real acid. It's
Little
like
baby
light
acid.
acid blood. You know
half
what I mean?
human, half alien.
Okay, whatever. We got that going on. It's like not like that ass blaster hot sauce you get. It's like Tabasco. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, it's spicy, but it's not like
diet
that.
version of it,
I'm not gonna die from it. You know what I mean? And from there, guess what, everybody? Go to your quarters. Kill some time on this military vessel. This is what we'll all go do. And so immediately jump to what turns out to be Elgin's quarters and that woman I was talking about from the chair, where he makes the comment of like, nothing sexier or whatever. It's nothing sexier than a woman being tied up in a chair or some shit like that. And then but you're like, damn, that seemed like over the line. Then we get here, and as the camera starts on her face of pleasure and then pans back, and I was prepared for him to be eating her asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like and then he
His
wasn't.
face dug in there.
But he wasn't. He was massaging her
Face
feet.
dug in.
Yeah.
But before then, and I say this respectfully,
Yeah.
before then,
Yep.
the keister on this lady. You
Jesus
know what I mean?
fucking
And she's in
Christ.
not the onesie. What do you
The
call that?
bodysuit.
The bodysuit
Yeah.
or whatever.
Which I think this movie might have started like,
This put it on the map.
I think this put it on the map for me.
Yeah.
Because the bodysuits, Tim, you were
Respectfully.
probably too young for this, but bodysuits were like all the rage back in the 90s. And this, I was just like, this is definitely one of those scenes for me as a young
Wasted Man says,
14-year-old kid.
what an angle. 14, I'm 41. Me and Jen were like, whoa.
Yeah.
Hot damn, that was nice.
I think every
Keister.
55-year-old watching that said, look at that keister.
Look at that keister.
Respectfully, all
What a
right?
lump on that.
I'm not objectifying. It's just
Yeah.
like, damn.
It's something you have to call out.
You got
Yeah,
it.
you
I'm
can't not
doing
call
my
it
job
out.
here recapping the movie.
Yeah.
All right? They broke the mold. We talked about this,
Yeah.
didn't we? From there, again, we bump around, right? Winona Ryder is hanging out with Ron Perlman and Dreads and I'm not calling him Dreads. This is what I'm identifying him as. What was his name? Charlie? Christy. That doesn't stick. Dreads. And they're down there and they're drinking the thing from the thermos, but it's like, you know, they're having their conversation. They're having their banter. We catch up. The captain's doing something. Or the general is doing. Oh, he's shining his boots. I was watching this man shine his boots. I'm like, oh, man, if I ever get there, I got a night off. What I'm going to do is shine my boots. Tim, you just
get
break
it.
my neck, throw me out of the airlock. I don't want to do this.
I'm with you, man. I talked shit about coins last week, talked shit about inflation. I'm going to put boot shining on my list as well. Why are there so many boot shiners downtown? There's not enough people getting their boots shined.
Yeah, well, it's like the airport where the airport used to have them all the time.
I just don't understand it. To
Remnant,
this day,
Remnant.
I'll go downtown, I'm looking around, and there's like, I'm seeing multiple people ready to shine people's boots.
People just don't wear them.
And I've seen a smattering of people getting their boots shined, which
you
also
still see
surprises
people getting
me.
boots shined?
Yes.
See, I don't think I've ever seen someone get the boot shined.
Really?
I always
Open
liked
your
it because
eyes, Nick.
anecdote,
Yeah.
like back in the day,
I got a Waymo.
you would see it in, for instance, I think there's a scene of it in The Dark Knight Rises, right? Where right before they take over the stock exchange, there's I want to say it's Glenn Powell. Am I crazy about that?
You're right.
Was he in that movie?
Yeah.
And he's like, and then he's a dick and like throws the tip into the bucket or whatever it is. But you always saw that in movies where it's like business guys go to the airport, and if you're important enough, you get your shoes shined before you get on the plane. So when you get off, you look good for whatever the presentation is going to be. And then I'm just like, I only wear Nikes.
Just couldn't relate.
It would be cool if they, you know what we should do, Tim?
Mm.
Buy all those. Start a company where they clean your Jordans.
I mean, that would probably not work either.
No.
I mean, this kind of
'Cause your
jumps to
foot would be
something.
wet.
I think as a show we talked about it before, but like dick sucking stations. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Let's provide a service people are looking for.
You're fucking crushing it today. You
remember? I forget it was in review or Kind of Funny podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a car ride.
Yeah.
Maybe it was
Mobile glory holes.
Just make it illegal.
MGH's mobile glory
And
holes.
this is what we do. We buy the shoe shine
Holy
station. Dick sucking stations, Andy. And you
Andy, wait until we get to the little hole in space that sucks you out of it.
Oh man.
Sucks the life right out of you. Oh my God. Anyways, eventually Winona Ryder comes up. Well, she spills stuff and acts drunk and leaves. Then guess what? She ain't drunk. She goes to where they're holding Ripley, where there's really not that much security. But luckily, for no explanation, she also has everybody's breath. So she gets to the door where Ripley is, and she's like, spray, wrong one, spray, wrong one, spray. Welcome,
Third time's the
Captain.
charm.
Highly classified military vessel that's has this crazy ass like fucking code red cargo, and you get 3 tries at the breathalyzer for this door. 3? Before anything happens?
No.
What was that? How much longer can we go with it? I get locked out of my password.
Well, it was, remember,
For Instagram after
when
2
the
fucking
captain
tries.
originally went to talk to Ripley, he did blow incorrectly once. So clearly they know they've
This tech doesn't
200
work
years
well.
this tech, they know it doesn't work well. You know what I mean? But they're committed to it. They put it on
like
these
using
fucking
Siri.
doors. And so she goes in there. Winona Ryder goes in there. She has her knife. She starts to open up Ripley's shirt, and she sees the scar. And Ripley's like, "Are you gonna kill me or not?" She's like, "Yeah, they already took it out of you." Like, "Yeah, what about it?" And we go back and forth here. It's like, "You're Ripley, but this, I am here to kill the aliens." Blah blah. And like, whatever. Blah blah. Eventually, captain of the military see Winona Ryder, and they capture her, and then they drag her back to the guys and call, round everybody up. You know what I mean? And they're like, "You're all terrorists." And Elgin's like, "We ain't terrorists. Wait, I was looking at my wife's ass or whatever." You know what I mean? And this keister,
Does things to me.
I mean, look at it. Look at my wife's ass.
Really could have solved a lot in this movie if he had just done that. I would have like, you know what? You're right. We're cool. That's all good.
but
Baby alien, like
It's a good rumper. That's a good dumper.
they all his tensions are high.
And he's tired. He kind of slinked down. He looked exactly like the alien. He looked a little like Kermit right now. Like, yeah, you're my leapfrog.
Oh my God. Anyways, it escalates. Everybody gets mad, and then it's like it's fucking go time, right? Guy with dreads, Christy brings out his dual guns
So
and does cartoon
Joss Whedon,
ricochet.
dude.
Cartoon video
I
game
love it.
ricochet off the thing.
Comic book
takes
as
them
fuck.
out. Fucking Ron Perlman takes out his thermos, hits his
Yep.
shotgun.
Of course
it's
it
like,
is.
fuck yeah, everybody's just blowing things away. It's great over here. Somebody else had a gun too. All hell's breaking loose. They're killing the military.
We got Raymond Cruz here, who Andy clocked from
tight.
Yeah, from Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul.
and,
Oh my God.
Breaking
yeah.
Bad. He's awesome in this. I know him. He's been in a ton of stuff. He was in Training Day. He was in, I think, Clear and Present Danger. He played Domingo Chavez. He's great. He has the look, great arms in this, but man, the guns that the military have in this are so like, we need something different. I hate them. It looks like they parted them together from models of other guns, and they just kind of had to find something. They don't have a real rhyme or reason to them. I'm not sure how they work. I don't like them.
All hell breaks loose. Most of the Marines die that are there. Big bad military man doesn't. Back at the station, I did skip this, so let's toss it in. Before this happens, Mad Scientist Man has his Mad Scientist laboratory where the aliens have hatched out of the people they did, and now they've just got a pen full of xenomorphs.
Yeah, what a great idea.
Yeah, exactly. And when they have this whole scene where the one comes to the glass and he's like, and then the mad scientist starts kissing the glass and doing all this stuff, and then finally hits what you think is just a fog machine, but it turns out it's Freezy. It's Freezy's faucet.
Like nitrous oxide or whatever.
That scares back the alien.
It learns.
And then it tries to come, and he's like, "Oh, you're a smart little boy," or whatever the fuck he says to him, right?
You're a quick learner.
Uh,
Just a question.
Yeah, and then now we're jumping back to where I was. This is where Mad Scientist Man looks at the thing and is like, "Oh fuck, they're killing all the military men. That's not good." And he's like, "Hey, we need help down here. We need some security on this giant military ship that I forget. They put some absurd number on how many
There's
people.
only like 42 people on this ship or something like that.
There was lots of people on this ship. An absurd number of 42.
No, yeah, that's what. So I was with you where I was like, this ship's huge. There's got to be like thousands of troops on here, and I think at the beginning it says like crew 42 or 47. So it's not that many people on it.
While they're radioing for help and trying to get this, the aliens look at each other and are like,
And then there's the one that's like, you can see the conversation. He's like, no, I don't know. They're like, yeah, we got to tongue punch you right now, my friends.
and they tongue punch the fuck out of this guy.
They really
acid
do.
everywhere. He's
Into
fucking
that
bleeding,
skull,
bleeding.
yeah.
And of course, they take the acid from him and they throw it on the glass there. Then our boy, they throw it on the glass thinking it was going to be that, but instead they just like eviscerate him, and then his innards cut through the floor. Mad Scientist Man, it's like, whoa, and he hits the button, but the cryo goes off, but it's too late. They've all gone to the hole. Mad Scientist Man comes in to check it out. He looks in the hole, gets the big cartoon glove hand, like from fucking
so
Beetlejuice,
bad,
like that,
so
the
bad.
shrimp hand.
Yeah.
Grabs him, pulls him down the hole. The woman, Mad Scientist Jr., goes, oh, all right. And then we're fucking on. Now we got aliens out in this goddamn place.
I like her hair in this, by the way. Shaved head. So cool.
Yeah. Jump over. Ripley, the clone, is like aware of all this because she had said earlier, like she could see it, feel it behind her eyes. Like she's still got a connection to him.
I love this. I know it is such a fucking sort of cheat when it comes to a writing mechanism where the character can just sort of divine shit, and that's always a slippery slope. But for me, this fills a little bit of a gap in the knowledge of how the xenomorphs work in a really cool way. Because they can just sort of feel each other. Like they don't really communicate. They just kind of can feel what's going on, and they can communicate that way with the queen. I think that's really cool.
FTL fam says the script reads, quote, something passes between the two aliens. The third one is afraid. Good job, Joss.
Everyone being like, no, whoa.
He's got glasses on. He's reading a book all by himself.
They'll expect someone in the wreckage, brother.
Why?
Another military guy, maybe this already happened, but I thought it was cool, so I'm going to put it in here. A military guy does eventually show up, go into the alien pen. The aliens have pulled a fast one. They're on the other side of the glass, and he hits the button. Freezes that dude. Dude's arm breaks off like T-1000-ish. Yeah, fucking cool.
Dumb scene.
Yeah.
I don't love it, but I do think it like at least it answers the question, what is that fog? Because
Yeah.
And will it ever come back? No.
Then we start hopping on the ships because now you just got aliens out there, a dozen of them. Well, 13 technically. We haven't killed the one, so a dozen.
And let me tell you, dude, this shit goes from, hey, we're ramping up tension to we're at 100 right now.
Yeah.
We're done.
We're in
This
it
movie,
now.
we do not have the budget for a second act, really. So let's just go fucking straight to the end of the second act and right into the third act.
I was very. I think in this movie, I had the same feeling that Greg had in the other Predator movies, where shit's going down. I look at the clock. I'm 38 minutes into the movie. Fuck, we have the whole rest of the
lot
movie is the final. There's at least an hour 10 left.
But at
in the
least we're
third
not
act.
going to get, like, we have so much time left in this movie, but there's no possible way we're just going to get a strobe effect for way too long,
Oh,
right?
gosh.
Oh, sorry, Tim, to report. No, we like the
They love that.
Alien Resurrection.
okay.
The strobe effect is a hallmark.
We hop around, right? You got the guy in the wheelchair on his own because he was looking at batteries or whatever the fuck. He was taking things from the things. It doesn't matter. He was taking stuff from the surplus. He sees the alien, and then turns out his chair isn't just a chair. It's multiple shotgun parts laid out, which is cool. It puts it together. Again, the aliens toying with people is always an interest. Like, sometimes they're perfect. They're from the shadows. They get you. Other times, this guy's just like, looking
Sometimes
down
they're
at it,
sleepy.
watching him assemble his gun to do whatever.
Yeah, again, more goofy than
Yeah.
I think ominous. Or
I think the
menacing.
payoff to shooting him and then the acid, shooting him and the acid dripping. Cool. This is always the thing. Whenever anybody fights an alien, I'm always like, but are we going to actually deal with the fact there'd be splashback that would fuck up your entire life? This time we get it, right? He shoots it, it falls, hits his leg, but he hits his leg, he doesn't do anything. Then he touches his hand, fuck, or whatever. And then we're just done.
And
Like,
his ear, too.
Yeah, his ear. And I was like, oh, okay, but like,
You're like, he's dead, right?
And
And the
acid
alien's
just
like,
burned
okay.
through all your leg and your muscle and stuff. Like, maybe it cauterized the wound on the way down, but you're fucking like, we got an infection to worry about here, man. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, this ain't
Yeah,
just, you're not
it's
just getting away from it.
space.
You know what I mean? What I think's cool here, it's a military vessel. The plane's gone sideways. They hit the evac button. They're like, we ain't fighting this. Everybody get out of here. General way too dramatic and like comical and expressive as like fucking tossing his soldiers in there, sending them off in the pod, pulls out another one, right, does the damn thing, and then what happens? Alien comes in.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you just see that they're all strapped in, and the alien just jumps in, and that's when he rolls the grenade. And this grenade,
that little CG grenade.
You want to tell me? You want to talk about Nick's OCD and the anxiety that I get when I watch certain scenes? This grenade is not a ball. It's ovular. Yeah. Right? It's an oval shaped grenade with different moments on it. It's not rolling that well. It's going to roll and then kind of bounce over this way, and you're going to have to, it goes perfectly.
Well, even that, it's like, rolls it into it, and then it shoots out. I was like, is it going to make it out, or is it think about the blow up mid-shoot and really fuck up your day?
Not the best idea.
It gets out, it blows up. But even then, back to what we're talking about, I'm like,
you get the salute.
A lot of acid out there, a lot of acid going all directions. Yeah, I wrote General's lame-ass salute. And then, of course, an alien drops behind him. And again, to talk about being miscast in this movie, because you're the only, like, not even comic relief, but, like, chewing the scenery. It's, like, literally like this and then... You know what I mean? And then like, bah, and it was like, okay, like his eyes like cross or something. It's like,
well, he does the thing where he goes, and this part I actually like, where he goes and he pulls out part of it. He's like, and you can feel him actually pull it and like disconnect it from the other part. And he kind of looks at it. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, and I guess that's why I'm like so disappointed that I think if all of the franchise could be, surmised as this is a cheesy horror, goofy franchise, I'd be way more down if all of the movies were like this. But like, this is so many things that happen in this movie feel like stuff in bad 80s horror movies where you're just like, I don't like that. Not in like after watching how good Aliens 2 was, or Alien, sorry.
So now we're back to our lovable band of pirateers or whatever. Elgin is looking around trying to figure it out. There's like a weak spot in the floor. He looks at that. It's an alien. It grabs him. It pulls him down. Punches through his chest.
We have a little character moment here though, because Elgin is like, there's pirates, and he sees guns, and he's like, oh, those are valuable. So he starts picking them up, and it's a trail leading over to the thing, and that's what kills him. So his greed kills him. Whatever.
The jump scare here though was crazy because it was like some of the longest amounts of silence until the wire just, you see that like cortex starts to, and the jump scare just freaked me the hell out. I was in my hotel room yesterday watching it, and I was just like, oh, god damn, like, fuck, man. Really, really loud.
Eventually his crew finds him there. They're like, oh my god, Elgin, blah, blah, blah. And they're like over it, but then an alien sneaks up on them, or the same alien is there. And then Ripley shoots the alien, shoots the alien and then crawls through Elgin's body. Shoots through Elgin's body to kill the alien and then crawls through Elgin to get him.
Yeah, because the alien's kind of like creeping towards Elgin's body and it's looking through the chest gaping hole or whatever. Shotgun pops out, just like.
And acid again, everywhere. Everybody fucked up, but nobody's fucked up. She gets out. This is where military man tells us there's 12. There's 13, but now there's 12 or whatever. This is where Ripley's like, who do I have to fuck to get off this boat?
A weird line.
Weird line to toss in there. You know what I mean?
But remember, we have established that Ripley is horny. From Alien 3.
I liked it, man. I still feel like that wasn't, I still feel we needed that.
You're in a hostile situation. Ripley's just been from one bad situation to another. You got to get it in when you can get it in. I imagine it's like having a child.
Sure, fair enough. No, okay, now I'm with
like
you.
We got a 20-second window here.
Yeah,
it's go time.
Yeah.
There's a cupboard over there. Get inside of it.
Cupboard over there. The alien is on the ground. Ripley yanks out his tongue and then gives it to Winona Ryder. And it's like, well, wouldn't there also be acid blood there?
To which I would be like, whoa, what the fuck, dude? Like, don't be throwing that shit around. That'll burn a hole through me.
This is now, we're like, wait. It's a fucking movie, I know. But like, we're just in a static shot, and Ripley's like, wait, the ship's moving. Winona, and they're like, no, it isn't. Yeah, it is. And Winona's like, yeah, I feel it too. Ship's moving. Where is it going? It's going, when anything goes wrong, it's going to default and go home. It's going to Earth or whatever. Dun, dun, dun. If this goes to Earth.
Shithole.
Yeah,
here's a trivia question for you that I meant to write the answer down to, but I didn't. But I'll approximate it for you. How many Holloway sets do you think they made for this?
One.
It was like 3.
Oh.
Yeah, they just I never realized until I read that. I was like, wow, they just spend the rest of this movie walking around hallways. That's it.
Yeah.
Hallways that have mist, hallways that have different light.
They
hallways
really
that have
do. This
clear.
movie, like every
That's
movie's
pretty
kind of
much
had the lighting, like this one's orange and this one's green or whatever. This one's like every color of the rainbow. Like that's how we're just gonna. And it's not good. You always talk about the submarine movie,
which Chris Anker watched and gave it 8.5 out of 10.
October.
Hunt for Red October.
job,
This movie's
Chris.
not like that, but
No.
it tries. It
And
tries to
I'll
have
tell you why.
colored hallways.
Because there's no color palette to this. No matter what they do to light this film, whatever the process was, and I think they ended up adding like a silver emulsion process to it, so it really made it really, really contrasty. You just have fucking yellow. It is just a yellow movie. It's all sepia tones, no matter what.
I disagree. I feel like this one had every single shot had like a different ass color palette to it. Of like, yeah, the last movie, like
Maybe it's just because
orange
for
as
me
shit.
that it just red is so unbelievably desaturated and contrasty that my eyes just could not discern anything but like contrast. I just think the faces, skin tones are silver, and everything else is like a greenish yellow to me for this film.
didn't work.
Does not work. As opposed to like the original Alien, which I feel everything was just so much more crisper too, and colors just pop so much more to it.
We set off on our jaunt here to stop this from happening and stop it from getting to Earth. This is a nice little moment I like where Ron Perlman's like, I heard you ran into these things before. Yeah. What did you do? I died. Like, again, does it fit in the movie or whatever? But I enjoy it. I like Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
I like Sigourney Weaver. I thought this was a funny line or whatever. Even though I don't understand how he heard they ran into this before, because I feel like we've been with Ron Perlman this whole time, and then things. What doesn't matter.
I think at some point calls like, because at this point you got to have.
Oh, she does say, "Yeah, you're Ripley."
She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
Ripley, and he's
yeah.
like, yeah.
From there, again, we're walking after midnight. This is a song
In Memphis?
No. Walking in Memphis. This time they run into a door with a number 7 on it, and Ripley goes, "Wait a second, I'm number 8." And so they open that door and they go in there and just tubes on tubes on tubes of just you got people
Weird
teeth in the wrong place.
Teeth. It's the teeth and the armpit hair that really get me in this
I
one.
didn't notice the arm.
It's the armpit hair?
You got weird teeth people. You got human bodies with alien heads. You got alien bodies with human heads. You got Barrett in small hats. Everybody's in tubes in there.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on.
I
right?
need you to pull up
I know
the
the
shot
film.
of it's the live Ripley.
Yeah, we're
Remember,
gonna and then we
whatever.
come around a corner because we hear something. And what do we find? We find a mangled Ripley. Actually, the only Sigourney Weaver there, right?
Yeah.
She got the armpit hair there. Her arms all twisted. She got some alien-like features or whatever.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Kill me."
What
What if we were to kind of put together the money to buy all of those little
Tubes.
tubes
They
and
remind
just
me-
had them in our
yeah.
studio? That'd be
Oh,
so
I would love
cool.
that.
Where
They're-
do you think those exist? In
they're-
some museum
they've-
like Sam Wiston thing, or
They've probably
This
degraded
isn't
by
Sam
now
Wilson.
because a lot of that stuff probably didn't last very
Ah.
long. But I
the
want
Turtles
that,
outfits.
and these remind me of Quado from Total Recall. That same sort of
Yeah,
vibe where it's just sort of
yeah.
like meshed into that. I will say this though, guys, and this is just an important safety tip for you guys out there. You know how we all have like end of life instructions for each other.
Oh, here we go.
Tim doesn't know, but we do have for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're ever in a place where we feel like you've just declined
Yeah,
a
so
little
done.
bit, we are going to light you on fire.
I was gonna
get
say
it.
we are gonna choose the quickest and least
Most
painful
humane
death.
way, which is to light you on fire.
If I'm on a table, I'm like, "Kill me," and then I see the flamethrower.
No,
Wait!
no.
Get the pillow. Just suffocate me.
Get the gun. The guy's got a gun. Just shoot me.
that's worse than right now.
This is that aliens
good.
throwback. They're like,
And it-
kill me. Like, the only way is fire, baby.
And then she's like, "I'm so upset and emotionally distraught. I'm gonna flamethrow everything,
Everything.
which will make all the glass explode. and
Why
all this
not?
Which
stuff."
make
I
all
know.
this acid just go everywhere.
Must be a
Okay.
chick thing.
Yeah,
and
I
then-
don't.
And then she comes out. Why is she upset? A waste of good ammo. Must be a chick thing.
Yeah, I get that it was obviously an homage to the flamethrower from Aliens, but it just is so weird. Like
It's
for
so
me,
weird.
I'm like, flamethrowing glass. It's gonna have to take a while
And
to
it
burn
just
through the
exploded.
thing.
This is such a comic book come to life thing that's like, I think this would make a lot more sense looking at it on a panel, watching it in motion's like, oh, I don't like
Yeah,
it.
it's weird.
From there, we find the cryostasis pods, right? And we find, oh man, this is what we brought in. All these people are dead, and they did the thing. Oh my god! And guess what? There's one guy there from 7.
Would have loved this moment. Always kind of stuck out to me too because I never really kind of figured out why I don't love this. I'm not like sympathetic to the space pirate crew, and it's because they knew what they were stealing the entire time. I would have loved it if like Elgin had like lied to them, but they all just knew they stole human beings.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
a fucked up thing, and there's really no coming back from that. So I wish this had been a moment where they were like they see the pods and they finally open them up and go, "Holy fuck, we were
We were the bad guys all along.
yeah, we were." I think that would have been a cool growth moment for the character.
Instead, they don't get that. They talk to Screaming Man. Ripley smells him. He's got one in him.
This guy's awesome.
What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean?
I like him as a character actor.
Me
Yeah,
too.
100%. Yeah. Of course, they lay it out that you got an alien in you. It's going to burst through your chest. You're going to die.
Not good.
But they're like, hey, why not come with us? We'll get you a freeze pod. We'll put
Makes
you in
a
a
ton of
freeze
sense.
pod.
Makes
and
a ton
then,
of sense.
maybe we can save you because that's what we do, right? Or that's what. And we got the medical man with us, right? We got the big bad military guy with us. Then it's time to take a swim. He says to get to where we're trying to go to the thing. It's 90 yards or whatever through the kitchen. It's over there. And they all suit up to go swim for a long time. And Christy,
Real long time.
Christy,
Yeah, Christy.
Christy puts the wheelchair guy on his back. That was cool. I like that. And I like
backstroke.
when we get there and I do the backstroke. I was like, all right.
It did last way too long. I
1,000%.
liked the sequence though. I feel like they could have cut a lot out of it, but like there's some good here.
I agree with that. But overall, I mean, I was like, we're here too long.
Yeah.
And also, when the aliens do show up, then the one that's chasing them after the other one gets blown away or whatever, really feels like he's just fucking with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, again, am I threatened by you? Why are you like fucking hanging back? Why?
Because he's trying to push him up into the ambush upstairs. So he doesn't
get
want
them
to
all.
kill
Great
them.
point,
He
great
wants
point,
them to
great
get.
point,
He wants
great
them to get
point.
hit by the eggs. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Scarpino.
Thank you.
Nice.
You're right, though. They surface, and guess what? They surface around more eggs. Okay. No, not yet. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Oh, it's not.
Well, it's pretty much here.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
there. It's
Yeah, I
down.
hit it. I do it again.
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
Face hug 'em, face fuck 'em, face hug 'em, face fuck 'em. Do you love 'em? Do you fuck 'em?
Oh, I like that.
Do you face hug 'em, face fuck 'em? So what do we think about the second ones here? Because these do nothing for me.
Yeah, I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're good.
I think it's
I lean towards bad.
I do say a face fuck 'em for the second part. Because
Yeah.
again, when they get onto Ripley, I was like, well, you're part alien.
Yeah, but Ripley's like super strong. So you have
Well,
to
I'm
imagine.
not even upset that it doesn't get her. I'm more upset that you're jumping on her, but she's kind of your mom or whatever.
Yeah,
And then
you
it was
should've
more
known.
the thing of just like she rolls around with it on her face for a long time.
Yeah,
I would have preferred
yeah.
it to be on, fuck, panic, grab, yank, off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
rather
would be
than
cool.
like I'm
Way
gonna.
and we
long.
see it come out of her throat. You're like,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
she's like,
She bites it off and gives it to one of the riders. Like, here's another pet for you.
I mean, that would have been interesting if she bites it off and spits it. You're like, oh, that would have been fucking cool.
You crazy girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are last place for me.
I don't like the scene either. We're up this fucking stair or the ladder for just so long.
Yeah.
And then Ron Perlman does the thing that I'm like, just fire that way. What are you doing upside down?
That was cool though. Upside down was cool.
I don't know. This whole thing doesn't really work for me. I think there's a lot of moments where it's too long.
Yeah, this whole scene's too long. Everything we just said happens right. There's the ladder. They go up the ladder. Military man goes up with Winona Ryder and is like, "Give me the thing so you
It
can
won't
open
break.
the door."
It won't
and then
break.
he shoots her, and she gets the hole in
takes
her.
one, falls in
she
the
falls
water.
in the water.
Dred's
He-
got the acid
he
on
gets
his
in.
face.
Yeah, well, if the aliens show up and debut a new power, I can spit acid now. You're like, okay,
That-
I guess.
I take back
hate
the bad CG because that CG
Thank you.
was...
Here it is.
This is the comic adaptation of Alien Resurrection.
Love that.
So yeah,
Love
this
that.
is your dream come true, Tim.
I
The
what I
CG
like
of
about
the
this.
spit was so bad here.
Yeah.
Keep this up for a sec, Roger. What I like about this is they hired the same artist that did all the Garbage Pail Kids
Yeah.
I can see it.
art.
I got kind of lost at some point in the blocking here. Maybe this is when I start browning out. But Perlman hangs up down, shoots it, and then
Shoots all of his
then-
and can't get an angle on this.
and the
fucking
wheelchair guy then is holding, and Christy's like knocked out, but it
Christy gets
burned.
the
He's
spit on
hurt.
him. He's like, I'm done for. He cuts himself out of the thing.
Was he done for? Because again, it was the
He
spit
was,
that did
well,
it.
the spit was like burning through his face. I
but
think.
like, again,
I don't know. We had to have a
I'm
sacrifice.
with you, but the
moment.
guy's our legs getting burned off. And he's like,
Yeah,
eh.
yeah. The thing's holding on to him still.
Yeah, but
And
it was
he's
like knocked
like-
out or dead.
It's dead,
It
but
was
he's like,
heavy.
I can't shake my boot. I can't just shake my boot.
My
unclips
face,
one, cuts
my
the other
face
Yeah,
burns.
Vreese is like holding on for him, but he's losing his grip, and so he lets himself go and sacrifices himself. And then they go up and they're like, we're fucked, and more aliens are coming up through the water, and then the door opens and it's Winona
Bum, bum, bum,
Ryder.
bum.
Oh, wait, hold on. FTL brings up a great call. The grenade ricochet. Hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Come
yeah,
on,
yeah,
the
yeah,
callback.
Yeah.
They call
Man.
him his comic's name is Ricochet. Winona opens the door like you said though, Nick, and they're like, "Wait, what the fuck?" And then Ripley just fucking fingers the
Just
shit
fingers that
multiple
hole.
times out of this
Holy
hole.
shit.
Jed was like, "What the fuck?"
Why?
Like, do they not have any sort of like feel? I'm like, like you get tickle a little bit or something, right?
Yeah. Meanwhile, so
She's
she
an
explains
android.
she's an android. She's the newest model of android, but they stopped using those androids, and like the guy
Raymond Cruz.
Tuco Salamanca.
He's freaking out. I never thought I'd meet an android like you.
You're an Auton.
Yeah.
So
They
this,
didn't want to listen to orders.
Yeah.
this is a wild thing to introduce in the third act. And I really wish they had expounded upon this a little bit because it's very confusing. But and correct me if I'm wrong. So they're robots who built robots. So
Yeah.
she is basically a offshoot, like a child of other androids that have been outlawed by now.
Yeah.
And so we're sort of there, which I think is so fascinating because, as you know, there is a very loose connection to the Blade Runner universe in this. So the idea of robots or androids that are, enslaved basically by humans is such a fucking cool concept. And they're just like, nah, she's just out there on her own doing this thing. And then you go like this. Oh, as an audience member, Call was really the only character that I kind of like was rooting for in this because she's the only one that shows sympathy for Ripley in this. But now she has a giant hole in her, so I guess she can't die. So why do I give a fuck about this character at all?
I mean, do we give a fuck about her?
I mean, what little fucks?
How much
I
fucks
had
do we
to give?
Is she potentially?
Oh,
Is she a preferred partner?
oh, shit. Yeah, that's a great call right there.
AVPPP.
AVPPP. AVPPP. Aliens. First predator. Preferred partner. AVPPP. 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 What's up, everybody? Welcome to a segment in a podcast that we call AVPPP, Alien versus Predator Preferred Partner, where we don't rank, we just nominate and choose a preferred partner to our main protagonist. So far, the list looks like Alien was Jonesy, Aliens was Newt, Predator was Mac, Predator 2 was Danny Boy, Alien 3 was Charles S. Dutton.
What a list so far.
Resurrection-
It has to be Call, right?
Resurrection's lady
Call.
with the keister.
That bodysuit.
I mean, it's got to be Winona Ryder.
I think it is. I mean, like I'm with Nick that I definitely wish that her character was better, but she was definitely. Anytime a plot was relating to her, it's when I was most interested in the movie, and I was
Fair.
to say if I was rooting for anyone, it wasn't Ripley, it was Call.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Fair enough.
AVPPP, AVPPP, she got fingered in her chest hole. AVPPP, AVPPP. The guy starts turning into an alien, but he shakes it off. You remember this? Where it's like he's like they're like holding a door. He's like oh, okay. I was like, I'm fucking killing you right now.
I'll be okay. I'll be good. I'll be good.
Meanwhile, Ripley is like just walking. She's like, it's a nest. We're on the nest. We're right by the queen. And they're all like, I don't know, but the floor falls out. She slides down like she fucking is in Temple of Doom or something. She lands in a pit of aliens. Again, I'm definitely starting to trying to
Holy
not fall asleep.
shit, this
It's a
part
pit of
sucks.
aliens, and it's all like
There's
moving
tails.
and stuff.
Oh
and then
my
she
God.
like it's like an orgy that she sinks into peacefully and quietly.
It's
and
like an Akira. Like she's just
Yeah.
being absorbed by
Yes, that is a great poll.
congealing
Like Tetsuo.
organisms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she gets pooped out, and she gets pooped out in front of the queen, who's there and looks different. And if only there was someone just to shout exposition. Oh, thank God. The mad scientist doctor is here, wrapped up. He's all wrapped up, so it's just his head. And he immediately is monologuing. Ripley, it's the queen. She's the perfect organism. She had phase 1 where she laid all the eggs as normal. But then phase 2 began, which is brand new because you and the DNA you had.
your gift to
your
her.
gift to her was a womb. She's making the ultimate alien creature.
Why did we have two separate lines of him going, beautiful, beautiful? Like he said that twice. We don't need two separate lines of him saying beautiful, beautiful.
So what happens? We get to witness the miracle of childbirth and this giant
Aliens.
white humanoid alien.
This fucking thing, man. It is ugly
An
and it is
abomination.
goofy looking. And I was reading some
There
facts
he
about
is.
it. And apparently, the goal for this design was to put as much genitalia on it as possible.
Yeah, you got
Titties.
They looked at and they're like anything that's male or female, put on this. And they definitely overdid it because then in the movie they had to edit out a bunch of things. So it's like we went too far.
Oh,
Too many-
shit.
too
Not
many
supposed to
testes.
go that far.
Gotta go.
It's crazy looking at just like any of these xenomorphs. Like they are by far the most wettest, drippiest in this one.
Yeah.
So where is that liquid coming from?
Good Lord.
Look at him.
God, it was just so off-putting, man.
Guy
Cool,
gave me an
though.
Uber ride once.
we have had like 3 or 4 different designs for the aliens in this. The first one, of course, was like if you look at the actual design of it, it's translucent. So the actual like skull, you can see the thing behind it. And then the James Cameron ones were like all that. This is cool that they kind of deconstructed that and we see the eyes behind it.
I mean, the eyes are fucking human as hell.
Freaky
looking.
They look like little puppy eyes.
Well, yeah, this is just because it was completely mixed with with humans.
Yeah, but they literally took like the design of it, took the cap off of it. And
yeah,
like, that's what it would look like underneath, which is cool.
The new alien gets out to strut his stuff and turns to his alien queen mommy and just tears her the fuck apart. He's the apex predator. He's
a punch.
Just, and she's like, my jaw.
Not just the top, knocks her skull off.
Ripley cowers in fear, of course, and this one turns and walks over to her and licks her. And thank God, the mad scientist, there to go, it's mother. It's your mama. Mama.
Yeah, that's a direct quote from the movie.
Exactly. Not here, though, right? So then...
bites that dude's head off.
Bites the mad scientist. Yeah. Ripley flees. They had made it to the Betty. They've got the Betty up and running. They're trying to get the Betty out of there. The door won't... Oh, no. Ripley's running. She does this giant jump. She lands. And then she's like, why did you leave yet? And like, oh, that's just happening. And then it's like...
Hear mommy!
The hatch won't close on the back door. So Winona Ryder goes to check on that. Guess what? Alien's here. He's not happy. He's a little guy. Shenanigans happen. I'm sure a bunch of people die. I've definitely fallen asleep here. So now I'm definitely relying on like 10 years ago when I saw this on USA. I watched the end, which of course is my favorite part, where eventually, yeah, mommy, and like,
cuts to a commercial for fucking WWF Raw.
Yeah, exactly. I got a Packy Webb Ford. Sigourney Weaver walks over as Ripley, and she's like caressing him and being all weird and head, like same way I am with Benny every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The same thing I do to Benny. I put my hand in his mouth, cut my hand on his teeth. She flicks it on the glass for the acid. It eats the whole. He gets sucked back and then just bit by bit.
Come on. It's fucking cool. Like her cutting herself to shoot the acid to make the hole, that's cool. And then him getting sucked out.
Yeah.
I did not like that the alien knew something. Like, the alien should not be aware that the glass is breaking and I will get sucked out into space because of pressure. Like, as soon as the acid starts eating, it's like, what? And it turns around, I was like, you don't know what that means. Like, that's just a sound to you.
Yeah.
Remember, memories are genetic, though. So he has both the Queen's memories.
I've been on ships before.
She remembered how to play basketball.
And she has some Ripley memories. And Ripley is very well versed in holes.
No.
And fingering them. And what happens.
Jesus Christ.
It's from this movie.
It is. It happened earlier.
He broke the mold.
He broke the mold.
Alien sucked out. Hooray. It's all great. The little ship rights itself.
Oh, yeah. The lead scientist, the chest burster.
Oh, yeah.
Glasses
grabs him.
Oh, right. He holds the military man's head, and the chest buster bursts through his chest into his head. That's cool.
This is the most 90s scene, by the way, because in the 90s, they really got fascinated with handheld. And so there's lots of handheld shaky cam, but it's like shot with less depth of field, so it just looks like a music video. It's so fucking bad.
We're about to land on Earth, everybody. You've always wanted to go in this universe, and you're about to do it. And so we never actually touch down.
No, we don't.
We skate along and went on right. It's beautiful. I guess so. You don't seem happy. You know as much as I do, or whatever the fuck she says.
The ship crashes in, though. And the sense of scale here, I think, is completely off. Because if I'm not mistaken, and Andy, you understand art and scale.
Sure.
I think this nuked all of Africa. Like, when it goes off, takes out a third of the continent, with it, which I think would have been like a world-ending disaster, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
What? And then and all they go is like, where do we go from here?
You know as much as I do.
Movie ends.
Terrible music in this.
I don't know.
Alien Earth
I'm a stranger here myself.
coming soon to FX.
Coming soon, FX.
No, that's not this though. Yeah.
No, I think it's. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's like later after there's been aliens on Earth and there's like the fallout from it or some crazy shit like that. I could be wrong.
Wait, what are you talking about?
There's an FX series called Alien Earth
coming.
Aliens
in summer.
Earth coming.
Can't wait.
Oh, brand new.
Yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
I'm sure Langley is correcting me in the chat right now.
Zach Johnson saying it's before Alien.
When a space vessel crash lands on Earth, a young woman and her ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's biggest threat.
Damn, they got Timothy Oliphant. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. And
He's the golden boy for FX, bro. Watch Justified. It's the shit.
It's made by the person that did the Fargo show and Legion.
Oh, man. Fargo's so...
I'm very interested to see what's going on Earth.
All right. It's time for Ragu Bagu.
Ragu. Bagu.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a podcast within a podcast where we rank the bad guys in the cinematic Alien v Predator universe. So far, your list looks like this. Number 1, it's the aliens, Burke and Queen from Aliens. Number 2, it's the Predator from Predator. Number 3, it's the Xenomorph, Facehugger, and Ash from Alien. Number 4 is Predator, King Willie, and Gary Busey from Predator 2. And number 5 is 20th Century Fox and the Alien from Aliens 3. Where do we want to rank? Jesus Christ.
Baby.
Yeah, the baby, the queen.
Called the newborn, I
and the
think, or
military?
something. Sure.
God, it's so
Hairy shoulders.
gettable.
Nah, he wasn't even that
Hey,
bad.
let's stop throwing fucking shade at hairy shoulders. Because me and Greg have a problem with you.
What?
We have hairy shoulders. We don't like that.
This is a fucking game to me?
Yeah, lick it.
You think this is a fucking lick?
Touch his fucking
I
shoulder.
mean, but that's not even close to
I know, but my chest kind of is.
No.
Look at my back shoulders.
Oh shit, yeah, he's getting the glow.
No,
I mean, I'm
like-
getting backlit.
a lot of growth
but
right
thi-
there.
this
I know
looked
it's all
like-
gray.
It's really
It's
good.
all gray,
Really
right
curling
there.
a little bit like
I know.
Superman.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm
You're a
trying.
specimen.
I don't know, man. I'm struggling here because, like, I feel like
Holy
the
shit.
20th Century Fox.
Go to the top again. That is unbelievable.
Just look at stay there. Look
Yeah,
at like the
don't
V.
go away,
Look at the
Roger.
V of my rib cage just coming. You're like, man, like if you could cut it off, I would
You'd
look
be-
fit. But then you hit there and I'm a melty Hershey's kiss. You know what I mean?
I
Like-
do know what you mean. I'm exactly the same way. My shirt's not even off.
I mean,
right
when
now.
Nick said, like, the words stood the test of time when Nick said, it looks like if you dropped a piece of bubble gum in hair.
I don't know if I've ever heard that. That's amazing. That's amazing.
That was a long time ago. That
It
one
was
stuck with Andy.
about 6-7 years
That's
ago.
incredible.
It got
It's
me real
accurate.
good. Yeah.
So number 5, we have 20th Century Fox. and
Did
the
we rank it?
Alien.
No.
Oh.
He's making the debate here.
Oh.
I think they're bet.
It's just rough because I mean, like,
I would put 20th Century Fox and Alien last at 6 and put the baby, the queen, and
because essentially it's the dogs versus the baby,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's like the baby getting
but the
sucked out of the
baby's memorable.
hole.
Yes.
Yeah,
Baby's
I put the baby
memorable.
higher.
I
Baby
agree.
does that cool thing where it like fucking knocks the queen's jaw off and then it eats Brad Dourif's head like it's a fucking
Orf.
peanut butter M&M.
Yeah, I'm going number
man.
4 for the babe.
It kills him.
4. You're going above Predator and Gary Busey. and all
No,
that?
I'm not. Number 5.
Yeah,
for the
that's
babe.
why I say
Yeah,
five.
yeah.
Five.
No way, dude. No
That's
way.
a 5er for me.
Perfect. We nailed it.
Does it kill anybody before convening and hugging and caressing Sigourney Weaver? Does it kill another?
It kills Tuco, right?
The cop.
Oh,
the-
Tuco.
It kills
yeah,
him, like
right.
just fucking crushes
Yeah.
his skull.
That was crazy.
Creed says Greg's got quite the keister from that angle.
Quite the keister.
If he's lying, he's dying. You know what I mean?
That
What a
is
keister.
true. Now it's time to rank the Alien and Predator movies. For this one,
There's got to be an edit, right, where he's just fucking eating her ass, right?
You have to imagine that was the implication of what
That's
was
the
going to happen
director's cut.
next, right?
holy shit. So for Alien Resurrection, me and Nick had it at number 5 out of 6, with only Alien 3 below it. Andy Cortez had this dead last. Dead last. And Greg Miller had it the highest at number 4.
Whoa.
Over Predator 2.
above
Over Predator 2. Yeah.
Alien 3 and Predator 2.
Yeah, I stand by that.
Yeah.
I
If you were like,
wrestled
do you
with
want to
that.
watch Predator 2 or Alien Resurrection tonight? I'd be, let's watch Alien Resurrection.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wrestled with the same thing. I feel like there's just a little bit more for me to like in Predator 2. I like the urban setting and I love Danny Glover. I always have
Of
a soft
course.
spot in him for him. And I like the ending always kind of stood out to me of like, oh, it's cool. All the Predator together. I think that was pretty fun.
Yeah, so the overall rankings are number 1, Aliens, 2, Predator, 3, Alien, 4, Predator 2, 5, Alien Resurrection, and 6, Aliens 3. I'm with you guys in the sense that, like, I could argue that it's above Predator 2. Like, I can see it, but at the end of the day, I feel like the baby getting sucked out of the hole, it was a high point for me
Baby
here.
go down the hole.
But I feel like the Big Willie Styles or whatever his name was in Predator 2, like that brought me so much joy. And just the idea of it being in Los Angeles, I'm like, that is just absolutely insane. So I appreciate Predator 2 more than I appreciate Alien Resurrection. But Andy, you had it last.
Yeah, again, I'm just at that point right now, and I feel like it's so similar to the Jurassic Park franchise for me, where they're going to keep on making them, and they will never ever match up to those earlier ones, or to the, in this case, the second one, and then a decent amount of the first one, right? But like, it's just going to keep on getting cheaper and feel worse, and you're never going to feel good about watching these again. But I've heard some things about, like, Romulus is enjoyable. We'll see how that goes later on. But yeah, I don't know. It went from like a really magical, amazing movie experience to we're getting really kind of cheap with the action, and there's gonna be it must be a chick thing or fucking I don't know. It just sucks. It just sucks, and I'm bummed out about it.
I feel that,
and I don't think they can ever reach that again.
I don't know, Andy. We're going to see them collide next week. Alien versus Predator.
Saw that one in theaters.
Fuck yeah, let's go, man. I just remember there was a lot of ice.
There's a lot of ice in this.
Yeah.
This
you ever
is
seen
another.
this one, Greg?
AVP, I don't think I ever did. No. Again, I think I had said goodbye to the franchise at this point.
Cool. I'm excited. I don't remember shit about it except the ice, but let's freaking go. Next week, AVP, no PPP. We'll have to figure out who the preferred partner is next week.
Oh, there are some.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
This one's going to be easy.
Love you all.
Oh, my God. Okay.
It could be every shoe stand.